So he finally admits to everything, all right? He finally says what we've all been thinking, all right? And it's just kind of ironic coming from this person, exactly, all right? So he finally said it. He's the one saying it, and it's not me. It's not me. Is this guy a prepper? Is this guy getting prepared? Because he's warning that things are going to get worse, all right? Is it going to get worse for him, or is it only going to get worse for us? Because I haven't really noticed. I mean, has he not been able to fly on his private jet? Has he struggled to feed his family? Has his bills gone up? You know what I mean? Has he really been affected by any of this, or is it just regular people like us? All right, so we all know who I'm talking about. If you haven't heard, this is what he said. I want to get the exact quote from Mr. Bill. All right, so he said, "We are in a worse place than I expected." All right, so even worse than he expected, apparently. So is that good or bad for him? It's one of those things. Right? So, and he's expecting it to only get worse. All right, only get worse. And he was talking about like world hunger. All right, he was talking about places like Africa are gonna get destroyed. They're gonna get completely ruined. All right, and who was one of the chief architects of these policies the past few years? Who was one of the chief architects? All right, I read an article saying just the other day that Bill Gates had essentially no oversight over this whole situation the past few years, and he was essentially like setting policies for governments, all right, and world organizations. He was setting policy for them with essentially no accountability. And this is a person this is a computer scientist, all right? This is what he started out as. He's a computer scientist. This is very strange and very dystopian that he rose into the levels and the ranks where he can run policy, call policy for countries all around the globe. And they were saying that he essentially had no oversight. Governments were just like listening to everything he said. All right, and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Past few years. And it's like, so he's like shocked that things are so bad, but he's the one that told everyone to do these ridiculous things the past 2 years. Okay, he's the one that told us to all be completely, don't leave your house. Don't leave your house. Remember that? Don't go to work. Print unlimited money. You remember that? You remember all that crazy stuff? His think tanks, his organizations were at the pinnacle, at the top of these ideas, pushing these ideas. And like, what other billionaire, what other like person do we know that's not in government that has this kind of clout and has this kind of power? Does Elon Musk have this kind of power? Elon Musk is richer than Bill Gates, apparently. Richest person in the world. But the government doesn't listen to anything he says. All right? Does Jeff Bezos have this kind of power to call policy for countries all around the globe? All right? And then to cause such destruction the past few years, and then to just like, oh my gosh, it's worse than we thought. I thought it wouldn't be this bad. All right? It's like, you know what you're doing. All right? This is on purpose. This is calculated. This is by design. Does Jeff Bezos get to make policies, get to tell other companies to shut down and lock down? Does Jeff Bezos have that ability? Because apparently only Bill Gates does. And it's weird. It's weird. All right? And we all know Bill Gates was connected with lots of suspect people. All right? One of them was found, I can't even like say half this stuff on here because they are just, you know how it is, all right? But you know what I'm talking about. Read between the lines, all right? You guys are smart. Bill Gates is in multiple pictures with someone who was found in their cell, and they did not off themselves. They did not get rid of themselves. You remember that meme? They didn't off themselves, all right? We know who we're talking about. He had a jet. He had an island. Look it up. Look up Bill Gates and this guy. dozens of pictures, tons of pictures, and tons of connections, weird things. Bill Gates would literally pay him to get access at like MIT and get access to colleges and stuff like this. Very, very strange relationship. Get access to scientists that a lot of people think were essentially like blackmailed, okay, getting into this network. And then you know what I mean? Like Bill Gates is this person putting out this agenda, and if he has a bunch of blackmailed scientists underneath him, then they can't speak out against what he says. They can't put out any counter narrative against this giant global narrative that we've seen, all right? So this runs deep. This is huge. I know we're getting a little bit down the rabbit hole, but this is all verified. Go look this stuff up. You know who I'm talking about, all right? Go look it up and look up the connection to MIT, okay? Massachusetts Institute of Technology, all right? That's why everyone says MIT, because it's a mouthful, all right? But go look up that whole connection, all right? That whole connection. So it's a real thing. So this is a plan, guys. We know they meet in public in front of us. They meet at Davos. They go to Davos, Switzerland, and talk about all this crazy stuff they want to do, all right? They go to the World Economic Forum. They go to the World Government Summit held by the World Economic Forum, okay? The World Government Summit, look it up. It was a couple months ago. That's what they call it. And they're talking about ways that we can implement a global government. All right, what does that sound like? What does that sound like to you? And there's a reason why that's the key. That's the end, because there's no checks and balances. It's like having a king ruling over the whole earth, okay? It's like nobody can challenge him. No country can challenge this single global government. You know, if they get this in place, it's going to be too powerful, right? So don't take the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And is this planned? Is this guy psychic, or is this planned? All right, I wanted to ask that too. Is this guy psychic, or is he planning it? Because it's like, I can make predictions, okay, but I don't make policies. And I don't have all this clout and influence to influence government and economies to do very drastic measures. You know what I mean? I don't have that kind of power, all right? So I'm just speculating on things, giving my opinion. But when you have that kind of power behind you, behind your opinion, when does it become a plan? When does it become an agenda? When does it become, you know what I mean? That this is like, you're doing this on purpose. And then he's shocked that it happened, right? So let me know what you guys think. There's a whole lot of globalists, whole lot of people that are trying to implement this world government. But I believe Bill, he's definitely up there, right? Definitely up there. His organization is extremely powerful. His Gates Foundation. He's probably worth more. He's probably the richest person on earth if you include his Gates Foundation in his net worth, okay? So let me know what you guys think, and you have a blessed day.